Today we are going to talk about orthopedic immobilization, CASTS, splints, and braces. Immobilization has four core purposes: stabilize the injury, prevent additional damage, reduce pain, and maintain alignment for healing. It is used for fractures, deformities, and postoperative protection after orthopedic repair. Device selection depends on the injury type and clinical goal, whether that is temporary ED stabilization or long-term post-surgical support. Nursing monitoring must match the severity of the injury because higher-risk patients require closer neurovascular and complication surveillance. CASTS, splints, and braces each serve different immobilization purposes. CASTS provide rigid circumferential support for long-term stabilization, while splints are non-circumferential and preferred during the acute swelling phase because they allow room for edema expansion. Braces provide adjustable support and controlled motion during recovery and rehabilitation. Choosing the wrong device at the wrong stage can create serious complications, especially placing a rigid cast on a rapidly swelling extremity. Fiberglass is the preferred modern casting material because it is lightweight, durable, and dries quickly, with waterproof options available for improved function and hygiene. Plaster casts are heavier and dry more slowly, but provide superior molding for complex fractures requiring precise anatomical alignment. Fresh plaster casts generate heat while curing and must be handled carefully to avoid pressure injuries or skin damage during the drying phase. Before applying any cast, splint, or brace, complete and document 3 assessments: skin integrity, neurovascular status, and wound condition. Baseline pulses, capillary refill, sensation, and motor function are critical because all future assessments are compared against them. Any wounds or pressure areas must be identified before they are covered by the device. Patient and family education should begin immediately so they recognize warning signs and report complications early. After immobilization is applied, nursing priorities focus on continuous neurovascular monitoring, pain assessment, edema control, and ice therapy. Frequent checks of pulses, capillary refill, sensation, and motor function are critical during the first 24 to 48 hours when swelling is greatest. Increasing pain that is disproportionate to the injury may signal a serious complication and requires immediate reassessment. Elevation above heart level and properly timed ice application help reduce swelling and improve comfort throughout recovery. The 5 P's of compartment syndrome are pain, pallor, pulselessness, paresthesia, and paralysis, but pain out of proportion to the injury is the earliest and most critical warning sign. Increasing pain that is not relieved by analgesics requires immediate reassessment and rapid physician notification. Waiting for pulselessness or paralysis means ischemic damage is already advanced. Early recognition and fasciotomy are essential to prevent permanent muscle, nerve, and limb loss. Pressure injuries and infection are serious complications that can develop beneath casts and remain hidden until symptoms worsen. Localized burning heat or pressure under the cast may indicate skin breakdown over bony prominences and requires immediate assessment. Foul odor, drainage, or fever are warning signs of possible infection, especially after open fractures or surgery. Patient reports of unusual pain, odor, or burning under a cast should never be ignored. Disuse syndrome develops rapidly during immobilization, with measurable muscle atrophy and strength loss beginning within days. Isometric exercises, such as quadriceps and gluteal sets, help preserve muscle mass by contracting the muscle without moving the joint. Patients should perform these exercises regularly throughout the day to maintain strength and improve recovery once immobilization is removed. Consistent nursing education and reinforcement are essential to prevent functional decline during healing. Upper and lower extremity immobilization require different nursing priorities. Upper extremity care focuses on adapting activities of daily living, proper sling use, and monitoring for complications, such as Volkmann's contracture from forearm compartment syndrome. Lower extremity care emphasizes edema control through elevation, monitoring perineal nerve function to prevent foot drop, and ensuring safe ambulation with assistive devices. Careful neurovascular assessment and patient education are essential for both. Body and spicia casts create unique risks beyond standard extremity immobilization. CAST syndrome, or superior mesenteric artery syndrome, occurs when the cast compresses the duodenum, leading to nausea, vomiting, abdominal distension, and bowel obstruction, requiring immediate intervention. Nursing care includes close abdominal assessment, bowel monitoring, skin protection, and positioning support. Before discharge, families must receive detailed education on hygiene, CAST care, pressure injury prevention, and symptoms that require urgent medical attention. CAST removal involves patient reassurance, skin care, and gradual rehabilitation. Patients should be educated that the CAST saw vibrates rather than spins and is designed to avoid cutting the skin. After removal, the skin is gently cleansed, moisturized, and inspected carefully because it is fragile and often introried after immobilization. Rehabilitation then focuses on progressive strengthening, range of motion recovery, and gradual return to weight-bearing and normal function. Orthopedic Immobilization nursing centers on 3 priorities: vigilant monitoring, complication prevention, and patient education. Frequent neurovascular checks and early recognition of compartment syndrome are essential to protect tissue and limb function. Preventive care includes elevation, skin assessment, and isometric exercises to reduce complications from immobilization. Before discharge, patients and caregivers must understand CAST care, warning signs, mobility restrictions, and when to seek immediate medical attention. Safe immobilization requires continuous nursing assessment, complication prevention, and patient education from application through rehabilitation. Core priorities include neurovascular monitoring, pain and edema control, early recognition of compartment syndrome and infection, and prevention of muscle atrophy through isometric exercises. CAST and splint care also requires understanding device selection, material differences, and limb-specific risks such as peroneal nerve injury or pressure breakdown. Throughout the entire process, the nursing goal is to protect circulation, preserve function, and safely guide the patient from immobilization to recovery.